chapter 3, and it reads on this wise, "And Joshua rose early in the morning, and they removed from Shittim and came to Jordan, he and all the children of Israel, and lodged there before they passed over." Verse 2, "And it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host, and they commanded the people, saying, When ye see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priest, the Levites, bearing it, then ye shall remove from your place and go after it." Verse 4, "Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which ye must go, for ye have not passed this way heretofore." Verse 5, "And Joshua said unto the people, Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you." I want to look and just take for consideration verses 3 and 4. "And they commanded the people, saying, When ye see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priest, the Levites, bearing it, then ye shall remove from your place and go after it. Yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which ye must go, for ye have not passed this way heretofore." I want you just to look at somebody. I know we can't touch, but I want you to look at somebody, and even though you have on a mask, I want you to just sound off our subject very loudly to them and say, "Hey, neighbor." That was good, but I really want you to put your Sunday night church voice on and say, "Hey, neighbor, God told me to tell you, get up and go after it." You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Get up and go after it. Get up and go after it. To assert that this pandemic has been rough, I believe would be a scornful understatement. For many, and I could be talking to just about a few of us, but if I'm talking to you, just talk back to me. For many of us, this time has caused much anxiety and stress, and has challenged the very psyche in such a way that if we pondered on the activity of it long enough, it would almost send us into a state of depression, because for many of us, we have been living on the edge. And I believe it is the diabolical tactic of the enemy that causes you to be so focused on the inconsistencies of your realities that it moves you away from the prophecy of your future. I want to say that again because I really want to unpack that to help us to understand that the enemy comes to move us away from the things of God, and not just our church jargon or our church activity. He really comes to move our thinking away so that we can ponder on our reality and the things that are working against us, instead of focusing on the things that are going to work for us. And you're not going to say amen, and that's okay, but I wish that we could just be real for a moment and just really talk about the fact that this year has really caused many of us to just kind of wonder. You know, you're just wondering what could happen next. We have a lot going on. We have a lot of people leaving. We have a lot of transitions. But the truth of the matter is, God sent me with a very prophetic word that says, in all these things, I need you to keep your focus on me. I need you, I know it's very simple, but I really need you to keep your focus on me. And I really need you to stay locked into where it is I want you to go, because I'm getting ready to do a thing. And the thing that I'm getting ready to do is not going to be like the thing you've ever experienced. I know we hear that and we think, well, I've heard that before. You may have, but the truth of the matter is it's hard for you to grasp that if you lose expectation while you're waiting. If you remove yourself, God, I wish I had help, away from expectation, and if you allow the inconsistencies of this reality of your life to cause you to come away from the prophecy of your future, it will be impossible for you to really see God like you need to see Him. And so it is that we understand this and that we can pull from the prophetic utterance of Jeremiah, where he declares, I know the plans that I have for you, saith the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you an expected end. Another translation says to give you a hope and a future. You must prepare, and I really want those of you that have an ear to hear this tonight, we must prepare for where it is that God wants us to go, because there is a next. I'll say that I said there is a next. There is something coming that's going to change the trajectory of how we see life. And the truth of the matter is, I need you to understand that although you have a lot of things happening around you, you really ought to thank God that none of it is happening to you. You really ought to thank God that He knows how to lift up a standard against everything that's trying to stop you from progressing to where you need to be. I wish I had somebody that can just touch yourself and tell yourself, I'm getting ready to move from here. No, come on, make that declaration. I'm getting ready to move from here. And I'm not moving from here physically as much as I'm moving from here mentally. Because the truth of the matter is, if you can't conquer it in your mind, you'll never be able to lay hold on it physically. I want to submit to you that the enemy comes to stop us from thinking at the level that God wants us to perceive it at. And that's what we must fight. We must fight for our thinking. I wish I had some help. We must fight for our thoughts. He says, I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord. They're thoughts of good, not of evil. If God has good thoughts, I got to bring my thoughts subject to where He wants me to be. I'm not going to get no help, but just wave at somebody and say, I need you to bring your mind subject. I need you to bring your mind subject. I need you to understand that the foundation of your faith is founded in how you think. I want to walk right here for a moment. I said the foundation of your faith is founded in how you think. Before you conquer this next season, you're going to have to sanctify your thinking. I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of amens, but I want to say it one more time. I said you're going to have to sanctify your thinking, which means you're going to have to do as the Apostle Paul admonished the church at Philippi, where he says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, and if there's going to be any praise, you ought to think on these things. I want to submit to you, and I pray that I can get about 10 of you to give God praise after I say this. But God says in this next season, if you can think it, you can have it. I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of amens there, but I need you to understand that what you can't conquer in your mind, you won't be able to see in your future. Just touch somebody and tell your neighbor, I'm getting ready to elevate my mind. I'm getting ready to elevate my thinking. I'm getting ready to move my thoughts away from the reality and move it to the future. Why? Because what I see right now doesn't pale in comparison to what God's getting ready to do. On your way down to your seat, just tell your neighbor, he's getting ready to do a thing. He's getting ready to do a thing. And so I want to submit to you that we must be cognizant. We must be ever cognizant of understanding that if we are going to progress in any way, we must understand that our thinking must be sanctified. Our thinking only becomes sanctified when we know how to delve into consecration. If you're taking good notes, I want you to write that down, consecration. And I'm not talking about this consecration that causes us to get on Facebook and pray every time we pray. There's nothing wrong with it doing over the airways, but God says in this next season, I need you to find a place of consecration that is only between you and I. Yeah, that's only between you and I. Because in this season, it's not about you just talking to me, but I need to talk to you. Oh, God, I wish I had some help. I need to talk to you. And God says it's impossible for me to speak to you when you got everything in your life pulling on you, always extracting out of you energy and focus. I know this is not a popular message, but I need you to understand that God says, I want to give you something. And in order for me to get it to you, I got to have all of you. I knew I wasn't going to get no help. And some of you were saying, well, God, you got all of me. No, it's impossible. Because you get turned off by the stuff you see. And God says, I need you to be so in me that even when you see stuff that you don't like and that you don't agree with, it doesn't change your spirit about how you see me. Oh, yeah. I feel like working in here. Just wave at somebody and say, I'm giving all of me to him. Y'all not talking. You should be praising God. I'm giving all of me to him. All of my thoughts, even all of my opinions. God says, come away from your opinions and get to consecration. So here it is. That we must see this, you may be seated, that we must understand that it is imperative. It is important for us to understand that as God speaks to us, we begin to get the right perception concerning him. I said we begin to get the right perception concerning him. The right revelation of God is the thing that's going to help correct our false idolatrous ideas of who God is. It is in Ephesians chapter 1 where Paul opens up and he's talking to the church. I wish I could preach. He's talking to the saints at Ephesus, and he says that the God of Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation and knowledge of him. And knowledge of him is talking about the premise of how we see God even when we can't trace him. Okay. No, I said the knowledge of him is about how we perceive God even when we don't agree. Okay, I'm a say it one more. I said the knowledge of him is how you trust God even when you don't like the way he's taking you. Okay. And some of y'all gonna sit up here and act like you a super saint, like you always agree with how God does a thing. I've come to tell you there have been some seasons in my life where I wanted to curse God and leave it. Y'all not talking. You see how y'all gonna be deep? Do I have anybody in this room that's ever questioned God and you say, God, why? I pay my tithe and they don't even pay their tithe. You're doing it for them and you can't even do. Why? No, it is the premise. It is the perception of how you see God even when you don't like what he's doing. If you're taking good notes, I want you to write this down. I may not agree, but God, I'm going to learn how to submit. Y'all, I wish I had help in this room. No, I may not agree, but does anybody in this room ever say, God, I'm going to let your will be done on earth? Y'all don't like the word, as it is in heaven. And so it is that we must understand that before we gain clarity, I want you to hear this. Before we gain clarity on the next assignment, you must be clear on who he is. Okay, I think I'm going to teach because I think that's what I've been assigned to do. No, I said before you gain clarity on what God is calling you to do in your next assignment, be clear on who he is to you. Okay, no, because we're in a very gifted generation and we know how to do church, but we miss God. Y'all not going to talk. No, we know how to flow in our gifts, but we don't know how to submit to him. No, because submitting to him says that my gift may not be needed in this season. No, my gift, y'all not going to talk. No, I know you hear from God, but God says there may be a season where I don't need to hear you. You just need to hear me. And so it is that we must see this and that we must understand that we miss who God is when we fail to seek clarity concerning him. See, the truth of the matter is, whenever God is doing things in your life and he is shifting you, because we're talking about the shift, whenever he is shifting you, he's never shifting you to get glory out of you. He's shifting you for you to return the glory back to him. Y'all just be ready, because I feel like I'm going to dance. And the truth of the matter is, as much as I need God to use me, God, I just need to perceive you and get glory back to you. Because the truth of the matter is, I ain't been that good, but God, you've been that good to me. I just need to learn how to return the glory back to you. Okay, so let's look at this. So the Apostle Paul in his writing to the church, God, if I'm teaching, okay, just tell me to keep teaching. Okay, I think I will. For my 10-member church, I'll keep teaching. So the Apostle Paul, he's writing to the church at Thessalonica, and he says this, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. I want you to write this down if you're taking good notes. I believe one of the worst things you can do in this season of your life is have itching ears. Okay, I think I'm just sitting here to help. No, I think one of the worst things you can do is to be so ready to get back to church that you give your ear over to whomever church is open. Okay. God, I wish I had some prayer warriors just in the four corners of this church, because God says in this season, I need every gifted person to understand that if you want to give me something, give me your soberness. No. If you want to give me anything, give me something that's broken. I said, if you want to give him anything, give him praise that's been tried. No, because the pandemic has done a lot. But one of the things that I pray it's done is shift your posture in how you give to him. I wish I had help in this room. Just touch somebody and no, you can't touch him. Just wave at somebody and say, I need to give him the right thing. No, it's not about me just praising him. It's about me giving him soberness. One of the things that we're losing in this generation is our sobriety. We're losing what? God, I love you right now. We're losing our ability to give unto God what's really due him. No. And God says, I've been too good to you for you to give me what's left. So it is, God, I pray, hallelujah, that somebody's catching this. So it is that we understand that in this season we must be cognizant and we must be sensitive to what it is that we're saying and how it is that we're perceiving him, how it is that we are offering ourselves unto him. God says what I'm getting ready to do by way of the shift is not for you to get puffed up and arrogant. It's not for you to prove that you're called. It's not even for you to get another platform. I've become okay in this season of my life that if God don't give me another opportunity to do this, at least I'll be able to do this. I think y'all missed it. God, I wish I had worshipers in this room. Do I have anybody in this room that's okay if you don't ever get another microphone? At least you got your hands. Y'all not talking. At least you got your mouth. At least you got your right mind to worship him in spirit and in truth. And so here it is that we see this. That we see this, God, I love you. I'm trying to move on, but I really feel prophetic because God says somebody in this room, you're getting a new revelation of how you see him. I said you getting a new revelation. No. I said you getting a new revelation of how you see him. The reason he broke you in the last season is so that he could get more out of you. Y'all not know. It wasn't about him getting nothing to you as much as it was about you getting more to him. Okay, so here it is that we see this. Let's look at this text. Let's look at this text. I'm convinced that we are matriculating through, and I wrote this down, so I got to give it this hour where we are right on the cusp of major manifestation. Okay, okay. No, we're right on the cusp of major manifestation. Okay, I'm going to say it again. I said we're right on the cusp of major manifestation. It's like if I were not scared to step on the end of the stage, but I'm a little nervous because it's a little high. But it's like if we were standing right here and God is saying, if you trust me, tip over. Okay. Y'all ain't got it. I'm going to go over here. No, he's saying, no, if you're really ready to give me more, tip over. God, I wish I had some help in this room. No, if you're really ready for me to do it, tip over. No, if you're really ready for me to do it, cut it off. No, I ain't got no help. No, if you're really ready for me to do it, sow the seed. Y'all not talking to me in here. I said, if you're really ready for me to do it, tip over. Just look at somebody and say, tip over. No, you got to throw yourself. Say, tip over. I wish I had. If you're really ready for me to do it, tip over. No. If you're really ready for me to get glory out of you, cut it off. I know I'm not talking to everybody. I'm just talking to those of you that know that you thought some covenants were God sent. God told me to tell you they were sent as a distraction. And God told me to free you tonight because you need to get enough audacity to cut it off. Yeah. Okay. If y'all not afraid to give your neighbor a high five, just tell them we're getting ready to tip over. No. Find somebody and tell them we're getting ready to tip over. As a matter of fact, in just a few days, I'm getting ready to see something I ain't never seen because I'm getting ready to trust God with all I got and tip. All right, so let's look at it. Verse 1. When we look at this text, you may be seated. Tip over. If you're really ready for me to do it, make the move. Y'all, what you got to lose in this season except some opinions from some folk? God, I wish I had help in this room. I know this may be a little bit too much for a Sunday night, but what you got to lose except some opinions from some folk? Okay, so here it is. When we look at this text, we are brought to Joshua. Somebody say tip over. Tip over. As a matter of fact, I just need those of you that are not too stuck up to get up and turn around and just sit down. All right, sit down. You don't know what you just did, but God said you just unraveled the last season and you wrapped yourself in the new one. I dare somebody to move again and say, I'm getting ready to tip over. Oh! You just let go of the old season. You just shared some old stuff. God says he'll just wrap you into something new. You may be seated. Let me finish. So when we look at this text, we are brought to Joshua's administration. We are brought to Joshua's administration after the death of Moses. And Joshua has begun to give clear instructions on crossing over the Jordan and moving the children of Israel into the promised land. I want to walk the text because I really want to give y'all this. I promise you, if I wanted to jump and shout you, I really could. But God says I need to give you this because the next time I see you, you would have tipped over. And there's somebody I'm talking about this week. You're getting ready to fall into something. Okay. So let's look at it. Verse 1. And Joshua rose early in the morning And they removed from Shittim and came to Jordan. He and all the children of Israel enlarged there before they passed over. I really want to look at this because it says, and Joshua rose early. Okay, I'll say it again, and Joshua rose early. If you're taking good notes, I want you to write this down because this is my first point of consideration. God says, whatever you've been called to do in this season, you need to do it now. Right? No, you need to do it now. As a matter of fact, God told me to tell you, this is a now or never season. No, this is a now. God, I wish I had help. I said, this is a now or never season. God says, put the application in now. No, put the application. As a matter of fact, pack you a box now. Okay, this is a now or never season because Joshua was helping them to understand that in order for us to cross over and to really shift, we must move with a sense of urgency. I want to tell you, some of the things that I don't like about how we do church is the fact that we're so lackadaisical. No, and this is just me. I don't see how you say you're expecting God to do something great and you ain't got no urgency. Y'all, no. And I know we say, well, it's just my personality and I don't really like a lot of walking and all that. No, but you got to have an urgency about something. No, and then the truth of the matter is, it bothers me when folk walk slow when it comes to the instructions of God. Y'all know. You said God told you to do something, but you're taking your time. When the truth of the matter is, this ain't on your time, it's on God's time. Tell your neighbor, we need to get some urgency. Come on, tell somebody, we need to get some urgency. We need to move with some urgency. God says this is a now or never season. And I don't know when I'm going to get this window again, so I got to step into it now. Here it is that we must understand that this season for you, I want you to write this down. It's going to birth you into becoming. It's going to birth you into becoming. And I know we talk about becoming a lot, but I really want to break it down for us because this becoming is not about us being something for other people. It's about, okay, I'm back at it again. It's about us being something and in the right posture for God. No, because the truth of the matter is we change up how we're supposed to be accepted by a crowd. No. And the truth of the matter is God never gets real glory out of your life when it lacks authenticity concerning who he's called you to be. And so we don't hear real prophecy no more because everybody's trying to prophesy like their favorite prophet. I ain't got to have no deep voice. I ain't got to twirl around. If God says this is the word, then this is the word I'm going to give. And those that can receive it are going to be blessed. We got to stop changing who's God called us to be so that we can fit in a certain platform. So here it is that Joshua says, or Joshua rises early, because it is imperative that we rise early, that we move with urgency. Look at verse 2 and 3. And it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the host. Verse 3, and they commanded the people, saying, when ye see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites, bearing it, then ye shall remove from your place and go after it. This is my second point of consideration, and I want you to write this down. We must be cognizant of who we authorize to lead in this hour. I'll say it again. I said we must be cognizant of who we authorize to lead in this hour. Out from that, I want you to write, because this shift is spiritual. It's not natural. Okay. I said this shift is spiritual. It's not now. I'm going to say it one more time. I pray y'all hear me. I said this shift is spiritual. It's not about branding. It's about alignment. God, I know I ain't going to get no help. No, it's not about a flyer. It's about alignment. Which means if we don't put no flyer out, at least we're in alignment with where he wants us to be. No, then this shift is spiritual. Somebody say it's spiritual. It's spiritual. It's spiritual. And if you do your studies, you'll discover it is the tribe of Kohath. It is the family of Kohath that are sent to help to carry the ark. They are the tribe of Kohath. They are set in order to carry the holy things. Okay. They are set in order to carry the holy things. Because one of the things that we got to stop doing is we got to stop putting up front who's not consecrated. I know y'all going to dry up, but I promise you, y'all just bear with me. No, the pandemic has shown us that there are some people that love the camera and the lights, but they don't like prayer. Y'all not talking. No, they love it when we got a packed house, but we can't find them on Bible study. Y'all not talking that. No, they love to get up in the mic when there's somebody they want to impress. But God says, I need you to make an impression on me. No. He says this shift is spiritual. If you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. Because the culture is vulnerable to those who are visible and vocal. Okay, I said the culture of the house is vulnerable to those who are visible and vocal, which means when you have unconsecrated and contaminated people leading things, they'll always mess up a consecrated atmosphere. Y'all. And I ain't talking about tonight, because tonight was very consecrated. Every person, even the minstrels, I'm talking about for the people that y'all know I'm talking about. And most importantly, the spirits you know I'm talking about. Because when God has sent to shift the house, everybody got to get in alignment. No, you don't play off when your pastor not here. You play on. Okay. You play on. Because the culture is vulnerable to everybody we put up front. That's why the people that are Levites, you got to make sure that if you got an art with your brother and your sister, that you clear that up now. Before you grab a mic. Y'all not going to talk to me. You got to make sure that if you got an art with anybody, that you clear that up before you touch an instrument. Because everything you do helps to set the house in order. If I'm preaching to y'all, can you just wave and say, keep talking? I need to keep saying this because you need to understand that God has not put you in a gifted house under a visionary like Pastor McNair for you to come in and flaunt your gift. He sent you here so that you could help set alignment. So here it is now that we see this, that Joshua says, I need the tribe of Kohath. I need those who are holy to go out before us because everything that we put up front is going to draw what we want. God, I wish I had help in this room. He don't send soldiers, he sends priests. God, I wish somebody caught this. I said he don't send people to fight. He sends people that know how to go after the glory. No, and some of us got big mouths, but we don't know how to go after the glory. Some of us got a good dance, but we don't know how to go after the glory. Just touch somebody and tell them, I'm going after the glory. And so this hour has to be about us prophetically adjusting to lead for destiny advancement. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. Destiny advancement. Because everything that we've been called to do in this season, and I heard somebody say this on Facebook, or I saw it rather, and they were talking about, I want us to stop talking about the pandemic. And I thought how silly that was, considering the fact that we're still in the pandemic. No, because it's impossible for you to be plugged in spiritually when you're not plugged in naturally. No, don't divorce. Y'all not talking to me. Don't divorce yourself from the things that you need to know in order for you to make sure that you're moving spiritually how you need to move. Okay, so here it is now that we see this because the contamination and the cursed spirits that try to operate in our churches, they will always stifle advancement. Oh, and you need to understand that this move that Joshua makes in the text, it's speaking about the art of advancement, the art of understanding that if we don't prepare, we'll miss the shift. And I know I'm not talking to everybody, but I pray that those of you that can catch this in the spirit will give God praise. This season is about you preparing for what is to come. I think I'll say it again. I said this season is about you preparing for what is to come. See, we lack in making sure that we advance because we don't know how to prepare. And so here it is that we shall see this, that this is the hour where we have to be about divorcing ourselves from the normal. I want you to write that down. God is creating for us new normals. He is creating for us new normals, and he is creating these new normals for us to have a fresh perspective. No, because I don't want to be where I am come this time next year. Now, I know y'all didn't feel like dancing, but I almost danced because throughout the day, I'm always seeing what's to come. And it goes back to how you ought to think. Because if you're constantly thinking about what you don't have, you'll never lay hold on what you need in order for God to do what he wants to do. So here it is that we see this, that he's talking to the folks, and he's saying, I need you to go out throughout the coast. I need you to go out throughout the army, throughout Israel, and tell them, get ready. I know y'all weren't going to dance on that, but God told me to tell you, just get ready. Y'all, yeah, no. She called it. It ain't nothing magical. Just get ready. No, it ain't nothing spectacular. Just get ready. Because you don't know the day nor the hour when God gonna shift this thing in your favor. No. And you ain't got time to get ready. God told me to tell you, put one good outfit in the cleaners and hang it up in your closet. Because that may be the day that he sends you to the office to sign the deed. That may be the day that he puts you in front of a camera to change your life. Tell your neighbor, get ready. I want to say true to this text. Verse 4, it says, yet there shall be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it, that ye may know the way by which ye must go. He's saying unto the secondary leaders, those of you that are sent to help to guard the vision, because everybody that's in leadership doesn't have a spirit to guard. Okay, I said everybody that's in leadership does not have a heart to guard. Some people have a heart to take. So here it is that he says unto the secondary leaders, I need you to understand that you need to do one thing or two things. The first thing you need to do, I need you to write this down. You don't need to lose your reverence for the glory. No. So he says, I need you to keep your space about 2,000 cubits by measure, because number one, I don't need you to lose your reverence. Let me help you to understand something. One of the spirits that stops us from shifting is the spirit of familiarity. Y'all not going to say nothing, but I'm going to bust through here in just a moment. Because some of y'all are too familiar with the person that's supposed to be leading you. You cannot go to the next level if you're too familiar. Just wave it up and down your road and say, don't lose your reverence. Keep your distance. I know you've been knowing him, but make sure you don't lose your reverence. Because I can't speak to you how I want to speak to you if you're too familiar with who I am. I'm not your homeboy, I'm your leader. Okay. So here it is. Just give your neighbor, just wave. I keep saying give him a high five. Just wave at somebody and say don't lose your reverence. Because I need God to make sure I'm in the right posture so I can receive, and I need to make sure I see you like I need to see you. So he says, number one, I don't need you to lose your reverence. I need you to keep your distance. Then number two, I need you to keep your distance because where you're going, you ain't been here before. Y'all, it's in the text. Look at it. He says, for ye have not passed this way heretofore. I don't care what kind of shift you've been in before. God says the real reason you need to prepare is because what I'm getting ready to do, you really ain't never seen it. No, and it's hard for us to catch stuff like this because we think we have a monopoly on how God moves. No. There are some people that say, I know God. God got to come this way. No, we don't. See how y'all missed that? No, I know God, but there's so many sides to God that God, if you want to come through somebody I don't even like, send them. See how y'all ain't gonna dance? No, because you wanted to come through somebody you like. I don't care. God sent me what I need to see. Just tell somebody God getting ready to send them. And you got to make sure your heart is right so you can receive who He's sending. Just tell somebody He getting ready to come another way. Oh God, I wish somebody could get somebody that can walk out and take about 3 steps and say He's getting ready to come another way. And God, I'm going to be prepared for the way you going to come. You can stay standing because I'm closing. I'm closing. I'm closing. I'm closing. I'm closing. I'm closing. No, He says, verse 5, and Joshua said unto the people, sanctify yourselves. I really feel like teaching, and I really feel like dancing all at the same time. No. He said, I need you, or we're going to dance in a minute. And the reason why we're going to dance is because God getting ready to shift out of the way who's in the way, so that the people that need to be here can get in their rightful place. Now, if I ain't talking about you, don't look at me. I'm just saying what He said. God said, move over because I'm getting ready to send more help. I said, I'm getting ready to send more help. I dare somebody to jump 3 times and say, more help, more help, more help. Get ready to send more help. Get ready to send more help. No, I speak to every spirit that's holding up advancement. You ain't got to like it. I'm sent by God. I said I speak to every spirit that's holding up advancement. God said He getting ready to bust through the walls and He get ready to send more help. Tell somebody He get ready to make more help come. This is my last point. You can remain standing. This is my last point. I'm finished. Last point. 3rd point. Hear this. Record it. Don't sit down because I'm ending. 3rd point. It is easy to disrespect a season you've not postured yourself for. I want to say it again. Stay with me. It's easy to disrespect a season you've not postured yourself. Y'all, Joshua said unto the people, stay with me, sanctify yourself. He says, come away from commonality and separate from the norm. Because what I'm getting ready to do, getting ready to change how you see me, but it's also getting ready to change how they see you. Y'all, God, I wish I had help in this room. No, He getting ready to change how you perceive Him, but He's also getting ready to change how you're perceived. Because the posture and the art of sanctifying yourself, coming away from commonality, is just for you. This is what I mean. When they see you again and you emerge from sanctification or consecration, if they see you the same way, you got to go back to consecration. Yo, and I'm not talking about just changing your clothes. I'm not talking about just changing your hair. I'm talking about the essence of who you've been called to be in that moment. Yo, no, because if He don't change how they see you, He ain't done working yet. Joshua says, I need you to come away. Sanctify yourself. For tomorrow, the Lord is going to change the way we saw it. Y'all, for tomorrow. That's what He means when He says He's going to do wonders. He's going to change the way we saw it. You got to understand, Joshua is he's in the headship now. He's leading. But this ain't the first time God promised them that they will cross over. Y'all, They were promised this long time ago. Okay, I think y'all missed it. He gonna change the way we saw it. That wasn't the first time God promised it. God says this time you come from consecration and sanctification, I'm going to change the way it looks in front of you. Y'all, I want to say it one more time. No, when Moses saw it, he saw the Jordan. When Joshua saw it, he saw a path. Y'all, I think we missed it. When Moses saw it, he saw the Jordan. When Joshua saw it, he saw dry land. Because sanctification changes your perception. No, I said sanctification changes your perception. Give me something soft so I can mellow down. Those of you that are standing, because I don't want y'all to think I'm telling no story. I'm done. God says, I need you to draw back. Don't lose your reverence. Don't get too close. Because you need to make sure familiarity doesn't stop you from receiving. No. It's impossible for you to say you trust your leader, and every time he gives you a directive, you question what he gave you. Y'all, I know this is supposed to be NEW-VEMBER. That's how we saying it, NEW-VEMBER? Right. This the new I got. What everybody else giving, this the new I got. The new I got is your perception gonna shift. Everybody's screaming shift, but they ain't changing the way they see it. No. And I'm with it. I want to dance and shift. But God, when I finish dancing, can you at least change the way I see it? Joshua says, and I'm closing, he says, sanctify yourself. Come away from commonality. I think you're catching this, and I think about maybe 10 others are catching this, because God says tonight, when we worship corporately, he's going to help us in our perception. Let me help you let me help you to understand what perception does. God comes to heal your perception. Whenever you feel stuck or stagnant, this is for you. Whenever you feel stuck or stagnant, God says, I need you to change the way you see it. Because if you can change the way you see it, I'll change the way I give it to you. I wish I could prophesy a miracle, but God says this is the miracle. That when you wake up in the morning, you'll see it differently. No, I'm not telling you to live haphazardly. I'm not telling you to be deceived, because your reality is your reality, but it's not God's promise. It's not his promise. The word tonight is for you to shift your perception, because God says by tomorrow, you're going to see wonders.